the Tinder. Oh. Good job, man.
Oh, no problem. It's just little things you hear here and there that I kind of just absorb.
Yeah.
It's all.
Interesting.
We'll just say for the podcast, it's all just my opinion, and for
Right,
what did
yeah.
they say, dramatical.
And we are rolling.
Yeah.
For entertainment purposes.
Entertainment purposes.
No legal advice.
No legal advice. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
Fact check me all you want.
Second glass of wine.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out. All right, so Jay Grant. So I always called you Jay. Do you go by Jason now?
Yeah, I go by Jay.
Jason Grant.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a long time since we connected.
Absolutely.
Probably about 20 years, roughly.
I would say close to 25 to maybe.
Yeah. High school.
Yeah. Probably last I seen you, it might have been about 20. Maybe. I moved out of Moncton when I was about
Really?
21.
Where'd you go?
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Yeah.
So you're in Ottawa and I was out in Quebec, in Gaspé.
Oh, that's when you were doing your studies, yeah.
From 2000 to 2004, I was in Quebec.
I went for about 6 years or so in Ottawa.
Oh yeah. What
Worked
were you
at
doing out there?
A travel agency,
Nice.
or like a airline, I guess, with
Okay.
with a travel company linked to it.
Nice.
So it was kind of a sort of a call center setting that was able to bless me with being able to travel in a lot of places that I would have never imagined to be able to go. Like,
So you've been around the world a bit?
yeah, not all the way around, but
Yeah.
you know, I got to see a lot of places that started to make me open my eyes on the differences of culture and society and all that stuff. You know, just
You mean there's more to life than just what we grew up with as hood rats in Moncton?
yeah.
Really? There's a bigger world out
Yeah,
there?
and it makes me laugh when people that have always resided in Moncton and maybe haven't gone any further than Quebec or something like that, or never even gone really to the States, and they say, "Man, Moncton sucks," or "New Brunswick sucks," and I'm like, "Okay, but what are we comparing it to?"
Yeah,
because it's
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
quite wonderful out here if you really think
not
of the
bad.
food, the culture, the people, the safety, the beach right there, all of this.
You know what? New Brunswick is great about 2 months a year.
Well,
that's my opinion.
Yeah, even, I mean, I hear you in terms of the cold, but if you dress right, yeah, right, you know?
Yeah, but why do I have to invest in a whole other set of clothing just to adapt to winter?
Because you're here.
Everything, like a whole extra set of clothing, whole other set of tires, whole other, like, it's like you're living two lives just to live in one shitty life.
I mean,
it's a swamp. It's a swamp.
You don't like Four Seasons? Imagine being like...
I like Four Seasons, but I want like 2, 2, 2, 6. And 6 be like 23 degrees, no mosquitoes.
What do you mean 2, 2, 2, 6?
Like spring, winter, and fall.
Mm-hmm.
I want those to be like 2 months each.
Oh, okay.
So that's 6 months, and then 6 months of good summer.
Right. Okay.
Not bad summer, but no mosquitoes.
Maybe like Carolina or something.
That's
Montana.
I'd like to find a place that's.
You want to do that Yellowstone action?
Yeah, right beside the. I want to sit right on the volcano there, the super volcano.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
That's
You know
true.
what? Fuck it. Like, we're not going to survive it anyways. Might as well be as close to it as possible.
Yeah.
Just to guarantee it.
See it coming. Yeah. Snap it off quick.
Yeah. Say your Hail Marys or whatever, and then get her done.
As you see it smoldering, as the buffaloes run you over as they're running away, you know you're beat. You know, if you're cool enough to know when you're just absolutely beat. I mean, I'm not saying give up, and you know, you can't usually have that luxury if you got kids involved, but.
No.
He's just an old dude that lived his life, and
exactly.
You're watching that lava come down nice and slow, and you didn't take that last bus out the city. Just doing that stand your ground thing. Yeah, man, eat that berry, chill out.
I'll tell you one thing though, man. Like, out of all of the shit hit the fan scenarios that I'm the most ready for, I think, zombies.
I like the Walking Dead zombies.
Yeah.
I don't like
They're
the
slow.
28-day later zombies.
Yeah, no, those guys are like
Those cats running too quick.
They just came out with a sequel to that movie.
I watched it.
Oh, did you?
My wife was like, "Hey, do you want to watch that?" I was like, "You want to watch a zombie movie with me?" She was like, "Yeah," because I remember watching that one. I was like, "That's one of the ones I didn't like." There's a few of them zombie movies, even like World War Z. I was like, "Man, they're climbing like huge walls, like they're just making waves of zombies." That's a little tricky when you're watching the guys like unload AKs and they still get taken. I don't like that. I like being able to sneak up to them with a knife right quick, you know, really make sure they're a zombie kind of deal instead of just like, please help me. I don't know.
That's when you need like the Killdozer.
The Killdozer.
Do you remember that?
I think so. Why
that was the buddy who, like, I think it was like in the 90s.
In California? No.
I can't remember. It was in the States somewhere, and he
built a tank.
big fucking tank out of a bulldozer.
Didn't he run it through like a courthouse or something?
I think it was like a strip mall. I think he ran through a bunch of shit. Yeah. That's what you want, though. You want the Killdozer.
Yeah.
I think somebody's made a new version of it recently.
Oh man.
Not for like terroristic purposes, but
just waiting for the apocalypse to happen.
Just for fun. I think it was like a tribute.
Nice.
Fan art.
Yeah. Fan art. Useful fan art.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, the societies we've built, are pretty delicate. This one is probably the most delicate of all of them, right? Like, before you had, like
Canada, you mean?
No, like, most of some places in the world, if everything goes down, they're going to be better off than places that are all full of internet and electricity and convenience, right? Maybe you do, but
I think for 3 weeks.
Here,
I think
Toronto is like 5 days.
I think within
if that.
What are we talking about now?
If you live in an apartment building that's like a skyscraper, like everybody's getting like skip the dishes and stuff. Like nobody's got anything in their fridge. So that one little old lady making the gumbo like from Jamaica that's chilling on like the 3rd floor, like she's got her fridge full of food. But everybody else is like eating McDonald's and everything else all the time, so they got nothing in the freezer.
And I'm thinking within 3 weeks, full Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Flies.
I think 3 weeks would be pretty grim. I would agree. And then it's like, if you don't know your neighbor, if you don't love thy neighbor, if you don't get along with thy neighbor, everybody's piled up on one another. Power goes out, it can get sketchy. I've seen power grow in Moncton for like a week. And you think like, well, no security things going on, no lights anywhere. And this is Moncton, like there's a lot of trust there, but like what, Chicago or something, or like,
Chicago. I would not want to be
not
there.
Not to name drop any states or anything.
Not to get controversial there, folks, but
this is all entertainment. That's all this is.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
I have a theory that I think coincidences. I have a hard time with coincidences.
So do I.
And I have a hard time with like predictions, like the Alex Jones style predictions. What I mean by that is just over a long period of time predict everything, and then as things happen that come true, like the broken clock tells the time correctly twice a day.
Right. Yeah.
Highlight on the things that I told you so, and the frogs are gay, and all that kind of stuff, making us gay and all this stuff. Well, that's fine, but are you going back and admitting to all the times you predicted wrong?
I mean, he's got a show like probably like 7 days a week or 6 days a week.
So he's got a lot of opportunity to spit out a lot of shit.
He does, and some of it has to stick, but
it's the strategy.
I have been followed him on and off probably for a good long time. I think he's over 50%. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that send him stuff to throw him off the trail of things and to kind of be like ops in the idea, like, here, we're going to give him like this 30-page, 300-page, 3,000-page document from somewhere, and it's like, and it just kind of throws him off a trail or something, or it's easy to fall into what you're looking into depth-wise, because I've done it so many times and like, nah, man, Earth ain't flat, but shit, I was looking at that for like a week, you know? But nah, I've been in a plane, or I can like, you know, go on a boat and you can see the ocean, and it's like, no, okay.
Such a silly one to me.
That's a way to label people into being like, oh, like you would say something about one thing, JFK or something, like, oh, you must think that the Earth is flat too, and you're like, no, but it deviates the discussion.
Yeah, well, the term conspiracy theorist or conspiracy theory is
JFK, wasn't it?
That's when it became popular. It existed beforehand. It became mainstream, we'll say.
Conspiracy was always there, but conspiracy theorist, I think, was
theorist. Yeah, I think that it was popularized as a derogatory term from JFK. Before that, it wasn't derogatory.
No, it was literally a punishment. Like, you've created conspiracy, and we're going to now punish you because you're conspiring against the king or the prince.
And there's still actual laws against it, but
yeah,
when was the last time those got enforced? But anyways,
I think that's a big problem, is accountability around the world on a lot of stuff. Like, even when we find out something's really going on, like, they're just like, yeah, let's just let this boil out for like another 2 years, and maybe they'll forget about it.
And there's also like limited hangouts. I don't know if you're familiar with that term.
I hear what's her face say that quite often there with the glasses. Real smart chick.
Whitney Webb.
Whitney Webb.
She's awesome.
She's on point. Ian Carroll, on point.
Ian Carroll, who's that?
Ian Carroll, the guy that you got like a mustache like you, and he just goes and hits and hits and hits, and you're like, wait a second, and I'd be sitting on my iPad while I'm looking.
Oh, that guy. He's like always like doing like the.
Yeah. He's doing a little. Yeah.
He's always got the screen behind him.
Yeah, and he's always like, this document came out.
Like, that's his signature, eh? Like,
this.
He figured out how to point without the screen getting all glitchy.
Oh. I don't know, man. He just seems like a real smart dude. Used to be like a teacher.
He's young.
Like a replacement teacher, like a non-university trained teacher, and they're just like, look, we really need teachers, so can you be one? And he did. And I don't know. I think he started opening his eyes. Like, a lot of people do that. They just like you scratch the scratch and sniff, and you smell it. You're like, ooh, that stinks. That's street sense wise. I'm not buying that.
My tongue's not touching it.
Not eating that. No. There's something foul about that. And it's all around us. But if they can just control the narrative enough, the masses, I think, just kind of, don't look at it too hard.
What is that? Mass psychosis. What is that? I honestly think,
mass psychosis. Robert Malone, he came up with the term, but
did he come up with it?
Yeah, there's cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance.
That's what, like, you hit somebody with three problems at once and they just gave up. No, he
popularized it during the pandemic.
I think he made that description happen. I recall seeing that he kind of originated that, and then they were calling that.
You're saying he coined the term?
I think he's the one that described it, and then it exploded.
Outside of academia, perhaps. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he made it mainstream.
Okay.
I think it's a well-known like Stalin era term, like propaganda and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But I mean, there's nothing new under the sun.
Like Bezmenov. Yo, he called everything out in like the 70s. You know what you're talking? Like, he was just like, this is what we're gonna do.
Oh, was there the interview there that he did?
Yeah, man, he had the glasses, and he just said all these strategies, and I'm sitting there like, in lockdown, just comparing the notes.
I think he was explaining, what was it, the Communist Manifesto, was it, or something? He was talking about, like, breaking down how they were going to employ the Communist Manifesto on America or something.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And then you watch like the movie, like the series Americans. With, like, the spy Russians that like just straight up they have a whole family here. They're born in Russia.
Oh, like Sleeper Cell?
Huh?
Like a Sleeper Cell?
There's sort of, yeah. So again, a lot of like suggestive, like little predictions in movies.
Bernays, I can't remember his name.
Edward Bernays. Yeah.
Is that the guy who's
like grandfather in marketing, pretty much.
For propaganda, and it was I think it's his great nephew or something, grandson or nephew that's started Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's funny how these bloodlines just keep running, eh?
Yeah.
Like you
Keep it in the family.
You just further look and you're like, oh, y'all related too? Oh, snap. Oh, you guys hung out together.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like Darwin and what is it, like George Orwell or something? Like a couple of these cats were just like, oh, y'all in the same era and you hung out. And that's all we hear about now. Huh, that's weird.
Well, Tolkien and Jared Tolkien and Mark Twain, there was like a group of
Twain? Yeah, I heard
intellects there that they would like meet in pubs and like shoot the shit.
Yeah.
Kind of like what we're doing, I guess, but probably a lot smarter.
Well, this is much more primitive.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to a guy for a long time that made me understand a lot of things. His name was Allan Watt.
Yeah. Wait.
No, exactly.
Alan Watts or
No,
Alan Watt?
Alan Watt.
The more modern guy or the
not the old guy with the pipe that talks about dropping acid and all this stuff.
Okay, no. Okay.
No,
He's actually really cool.
He's interesting. You know, he's got a lot of like philosophies and stuff, you know, and that's fine.
But there's this other dude. I heard about him. I never seen him, I don't think.
He passed away like a couple, like maybe a year into COVID there. All of a sudden, because when you talk predictions and just the not even being frantic about it and just breaking down this book, it was written by this guy. He'll talk about bloodlines, but then he also correlates things and pretty much brings like receipts without going too far into the weeds. But if you want
And what
to,
subjects?
Just the whole governance of it, the whole.
I think I need to listen.
Not only the globalist aspect of things, but like the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the WHO, WEF, all the different, the Carnegies, all of the different things, Rockefellers, Rothschilds.
Does he cover Cecil Rhodes?
Everything, absolutely. Cecil Rhodes, yeah, the Rhodes founder, absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing, like
and
him,
how many, 11 wills or something like that?
him saying the names of people in these long podcasts. A lot of people don't have the patience to just listen to a guy, you know, not necessarily ramble on, but sort of. But he's staying on things, and he'll come back. He'll talk about something and go deep in on one for like 10 minutes and then be like, as I was saying about this, and then he goes back to it, and then he carries through the convo. He was a musician, never really looked for too much, lived in Northern Ontario.
Oh, he's Canadian.
You know, he's got an accent, which I love. Like it's like a British accent. I think he grew up in like England or Scotland or something, and he'll have a little bit of a laugh going in some cases, like, but it's almost like it's not a sad laugh, but like as serious as the conversation is, just the fact that he can explain how they're doing it, it makes you kind of giggle with him, like, wow, like, that's really something that.
So he covers a lot of like conspiracy theories around governance, you say?
Yeah. Over everything, but not very historically. He understands things historically. I find he would be a little bit like you, and I'm starting to realize, like me, when you're saying that, like you self-study thing, like
Autodidaction, I think is actually
not much for coincidences.
So that's what I'm saying, like the predictions and all that. Like I have like prophecies, predictions. They're all, to me, they're all synonyms for plans. I feel like they're actual plans that were like Nostradamus. Are you familiar with?
Mm-hmm. A little bit, yeah.
So he was like from France and all that stuff, but he had like a lot of connections with royalty,
right?
And he was like kind of like a royal whisperer, you know, a horse whisperer, royal whisperer, and he would talk to them
Suggestions.
and he would listen to what their aspirations were and their ambitions and their goals and how they would back it up with who was most likely to achieve their plans based off of their resources and all that kind of stuff. So he was able to mix in a few other psychological things in there. He was able to, I use the term loosely, like predict or plan what outcomes would be based off of scenarios.
He was like a
mathematician.
One of the first think tanks like a singular think tank.
No, not first. Definitely not. Like you had like Aristotle's and the Greek philosophers. Those
Right.
guys were like the OG think
Think
tanks, philosopher kings.
Yeah.
But yeah, like but he's more like, I see him as more of like a mentalist. Are you familiar with mentalists?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I feel like he was more like a mentalist who could observe patterns in humans that were rich and came from richness, and they had legacies that were already established.
Mhm.
So it was easier to predict the likelihood of the types of, and then all from there he would just spread it out. You stretch the idea out far enough so that it would fit into a relative era, but also look like it was sharp enough to be a prediction.
You're right. Or a game plan.
Yeah,
A little bit
like
of both.
coach yourself
Right. Yeah.
type of thing. Like
Yeah. Right. And I don't think that Alex Jones would be that. I think he has sources and enough people listening to him over the years that he receives, information from whistleblowers that don't want to be whistleblowers, because most whistleblowers don't do too well. When I watch the court hearings and stuff, I'm like, dang, this guy's just like literally call out like illegal activity that he saw happen, and he's getting like run through by both parties. Like
I've been conscientious of InfoWars and him
yeah.
for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I've caught him on a multitude of bullshit.
Yeah.
He has said so much bullshit that was fucking outright lies, blatant lies, and like being called out on them on like Joe Rogan and stuff. And he's just like,
But you found that on Joe Rogan, because like
well, he's been on there like 5 times.
a couple times, and like young Jamie, he goes, wait, what bill did you just talk about there? And say it slower, because you're saying it too fast. And he's like, I'm sorry. And then he says, young Jamie, look this up. And then he looks it up, and it's like he's got a picture memory, because he's legitimately saying everything on the page at the C3, 4, whatever your hat says. All of those things and the topic are all there, and he's finding it in that state's legislation. So I feel like he is studied about things. I don't think you can hit. These guys are having fun. Honking horns.
We have people like just randomly showing up down, because there's a river beside me here, right?
Yeah.
There's people that just randomly show up there recently. I didn't see them, my neighbor saw them. Apparently they just pulled out a bunch of rifles out of their vehicles, went down to the river, started shooting. Did you see the videos about out in Ontario? Off a bridge? They're just like shooting all these guns.
In the water?
Yeah.
No.
Like you can't do that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Anyways, apparently someone was doing it here a few weeks ago, so it's like,
It's a thing to just shoot bullets into the water?
I think it is in other countries.
Oh.
I don't think it is.
I mean, that's like their safety thing, is to do it that way.
I think it's their, and like you should see the video of these guys doing it. They're just like, they're not even aiming. They're just picking up guns, bun, 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 bun. It's like, what are you even doing? Like, this is even a shitty video. If you're trying to impress anybody, all you're doing is picking up random guns and you're not even aiming. He's not even shouldering half of them.
They just want to like hear the sound. It's like shooting fireworks.
Yeah, into the water. Like, dude, are those lead bullets that you're shooting into the water?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's not great either.
like, come on, dude. Like, you're killing fish populations because you're an idiot?
That's what I find is really interesting with what's going on right now. Is it was almost like a bringing so many cultures.
You know what they did?
All at once.
I was talking to, I won't name him, I don't want to name drop him, who immigrated here like 15 years ago.
Right. They're not cool with it either.
Not at all. No. And I thought he'd be all like cool with it, right? Like
Right.
ignorant me. He's like, no, these are like all the hillbillies.
Man, they got some stuff going on in Nepal though. Did you see that?
No.
I watched this little 16-year-old kid. He does this speech sounding like, I'd say Martin Luther King, but it was a bit more aggressive. It was more a Malcolm X kind of run. I almost think like he watched a couple of those speeches. He is going off about the corruption And then I'm watching videos the week before. I was like,
Nepal?
yeah, I was like, what's going on in Nepal? Because like they have this guy with a bag over his head, almost naked, walking through the river, and this guy's smacking him in the back of the head, and there's people on both sides of the banks just yelling at him and denouncing him. And I guess he was like the finance minister. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him, and this is just entertainment purposes. I'm not trying to say I know anything more than that. If we gotta flick it back up or something, we'll figure it out.
Well, I'm hoping that the
Everything
burns.
down, evens it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got like about 3 inches there and 2 inches there.
And then by the time it's down,
It'll be hot.
it'll be hot and ready to.
Sizzle.
Yeah, and we'll cook up some meats.
That's some meats. Yeah, but I mean, even when COVID was going on and like the trucker convoy was going on, like I had customers coming up. You know, they're coming from other places in the world and like educated people that are trying to really make it.
Yep.
Made all kinds of sacrifices, and their parents sacrificed what they had to be
2
able
or
to
3 year process. Visited here 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, they got a lot of skin in the game to do stuff and like sign and stuff and go through all the proper channels, and they end up here and they say, oh no, that's fine that you're a surgeon in Iran, you're brain surgeon in Iran when bombs are dropping and the electricity is flickering and things are going on, but here you can't even be an ambulance driver. And, it's just like, oh, okay.
It's funny you say that because in an interview that I did a few weeks ago that hasn't been published yet.
Okay.
I told my story about how I worked with 2 Iranian surgeons here in Moncton.
Yeah.
I couldn't get a job in the hospital.
No.
That's your wife.
Hello, honey.
You didn't tell her you were coming
No,
here?
I did. Yeah,
yeah.
but she's just hoping. I'm like, oh, I'm on my way home, but I'm not.
Misses her man.
Yeah, but she knows. She knows I'm always not legging late, but I'm, if I say 8 o'clock, it's gonna be 10.
Yeah.
if she knows I'm hanging out with like a friend I haven't talked to.
If you're having a good time.
She knows I'm long-winded. I'm not gonna just.
If you're home at 8, that means you weren't having a good time.
Yeah. It's kind of like growing up, like when you'd be at a banging party.
Mm.
And everyone's having a good time. The music is right. Everyone's dancing and singing and drinking and having a good time. And then you always have one of your friends being like, bro, it's time to go to the other party. And you would always go to the other party and it was like a dud. I never went to a better second party. When sometimes it was like a prep party that everybody knew they were going to the other party, and it was a small group into the other one, but sometimes even that vibe was better than once you got to the other party. You get there and bottles are breaking and the cops showed up already and you're like, we had it all at the other party. We brought all the chicks to this party. Now 2 of them are getting arrested.
We ran a cab to get here.
Yeah. We had all the booze over there.
And your dad hooked us up a lot when we were young.
Yeah,
Your
taxi
dad was
driver.
awesome.
Yeah,
He was awesome.
yeah. Tony was the best.
Is he your biological dad?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I always called him Tony. People did wonder that. But
Yeah.
he never minded. I always called him Tony.
Yeah.
But he never minded. Yeah, people were always like, oh, like they would say that, like, oh, is that? I was like, yeah, he's definitely like big time. Like, he's my favorite person in the world.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, why don't you call him Dad? I don't know if it was just like when I was younger, I'd hear my mom yell Tony to him. So then to me, it was just Tony as well. Like I see a lot of moms like, oh, go see Dad. Or like, hey, Dad, look at what your son has. But she'd be like, hey, Tony, look at what your son's doing. You know? So.
Oh, Tony.
Hey, Tony. Arigato.
I was like a waiter at the time. Like, wasn't making big money or anything like that, but I always felt like.
But when you're a waiter, you understand tips too.
Yeah, true.
That's definitely.
That's true. Yeah.
That's like when you have $100 bill and you tip $4 and you think it's going to the waiter or waitress's like hourly wage. It's not. It's going to the kitchen, and the managers like there's a percentage that they have to give out that people don't calculate. I used to think that when I was younger too. Like, oh well, if my bill's $15 and or $50, and I leave $5. Well, she's making $10 an hour now. She's making $15 an hour, but
Right.
it's not how it works in most restaurants.
No,
And then you go to places like Scotland, and if you tip, you're basically getting into a bar fight.
if you tip.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because then you're making everybody look cheap, because
Well,
they have gratuities included
in the bill.
in the bill.
Right.
So like we don't think of it as Canadians, and the
Yeah.
waitresses don't really say much, and then
Right.
you're just like, oh, and there's British pounds and stuff, so you just leave your money, and then like they see that like you want your change, and you're like, no, it's okay, and then everybody at the bar looks at you, at the pub look at you. yeah, give my change back.
Get him!
Yeah.
He's gonna start it.
He's wearing red. Get him. That's not the team
soccer
around
team.
here. Yeah, that's a team down
Manchester United.
yeah, exactly. That's the team down the street, buddy. When I went, that's what my wife said. Wow, you didn't bring any of your soccer jerseys? I was like, my soccer jerseys are like Italy, Brazil.
They're not gonna be appreciated.
I'm not going to England with those. See that group of like 9 thugs over there wearing track pants that are all the same color? Yeah, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah. They're a posse.
They just lost tonight.
I think it's all plans, man. Think about how smart these people are. Like, as if anything we think of, they didn't already think of like 50 years ago. As
Well,
if.
and history repeats itself, and there's only some people telling us what the history is.
Right.
And, I think a lot of information is suppressed of history. I wonder how many times we got to this point technologically and society-wise that we
Before
don't
the
know
last
about.
deluge?
Yeah, 3,000 years,
No, 10,000.
10,000, 12,000,
Yeah.
300,000 years ago. Like, how many times have we gotten to this point where, like, oh, shit, another comet hit? Or, even like with the global warming, like, what?
Well, that's just a cover-up for them changing, for the shifting magnetic field there.
Interesting.
You know how it's moving there?
Yeah, very quickly.
Well,
like,
that's what's
changing the
all of it.
Yeah. Well, what?
It's twisting the weather of the earth. It's shifting the weather of the earth.
Right. Well, to me, I was like, don't we all like remember like in school when they were talking about the Ice Age and like the Great Lakes being like 12, like a kilometer of ice that melted down and left the Great Lakes. So that's a kilometer of ice that warmed up and melted. So it had to be cold at some point.
Oh yeah.
And now it's hot now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's gonna be cold again, or what are we doing?
It's about every 10 to 12,000 years. There's a cycle there. I mean, there's little cycles in between, but the big ones that they're seeing, I mean, how accurate that is, I can't tell yet.
Well, if you have a big volcano blow out, that's gonna cool everything down.
Presumably, yeah.
And if you're boiling an egg, eventually...
Given our understanding today of how the world works, is that how the world works today? Was it how it worked 50,000 years ago?
Well, different oxygen levels and everything.
Where was the magnetic north end? Right?
Yeah, with the Earth spinning sideways.
Like, there's just like so much assumption that's filling in a lot of some big, massive gaps of unknown.
Yeah.
Because I think this is starting to cook faster than I anticipated. Flat, doesn't strip on you or anything. Right now I gotta take that off. Ooh, I love that thing.
That's a really nice little machine right there.
It's called a Cook-It-All.
Makes sense.
By Lodge.
Like the bag and everything.
Yeah, well that's extra. I bought that extra.
Yeah.
There's no bag that was actually designed for this.
What?
No. I bought the bag for a big Dutch oven.
And then the rest of the pans you got there aren't part of that Cook-It-All?
Nope.
Oh.
Just that major wok part, this grill part,
Yeah.
and the
the
handles.
Interesting.
Everything else is just oh shit. Yeah, we'll see if we need these. We'll hook them up. If
Yeah,
not,
man, I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be just delightful.
I think so too.
This is awesome, Justin. Thank you.
Hey, my
And
pleasure, man.
even if the mics don't work, I'll come back here and do this with you anytime.
Yeah. Well, I think because even though it would have sounded a hell of a lot better with the mics.
Yeah.
But this will work.
I've never had anyone say "speak up." I can't hear what you're saying ever.
Look how red that bottom one is.
Yo, that one there is
Like that's ready for the like.
You
to be
can
hammered.
hammer that. Yeah. Can make something else out of it.
All right, so put this. We'll get this going again.
Yeah. Really a woodsy kind of guy.
What's that?
Really a woodsy kind of guy,
Well,
country dude.
You kind of expected for a guy to study forestry.
Yeah.
Well, no, I grew up out
Pepper.
here. You like pepper?
Yes. As much as you can.
In the same way.
Like salt, sure, whatever. But pepper, if I don't have pepper, I'm like, I don't
these
know what's going on.
I'm not going to add the salt yet because these were dry salt brine for 24 hours.
Oh, nice.
So there's probably a lot of salt on them already.
Okay.
But if you do want more salt, I have it here.
I don't necessarily.
The butter was non-salted too, so.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Delicious. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
a little overcooked. A little crispy on the edges.
Not fussy. No, that's good. That's a nice little slab of meat right there.
T-bone. Yes, sir.
I find it's only in this new era that people don't welcome debate.
No.
They won't, and when I say that, they won't have any curiosity towards an opposing opinion.
Right. They just don't want to hear it.
It's like, oh, you're on a different side than me. And like, I say that because I long conversations with people. And I say to people, the longer we talk, the higher the odds are that we're going to say something that we disagree with. For eons, that was just something that would happen. People would then dive into it. It then became science. And that's how you can come to the truth, is through opposing lines. Like our whole parliament is based on debate.
You know what?
What?
Sorry, go ahead, yeah.
Oh, well, no, I mean, yeah, of course, the COVID science was different. That was, if you're not following what we're telling you we just figured out, or that we're telling you to do, we're shutting you down completely. You're losing your license and everything else.
What I was going to say is, you know what science used to be called before it was called science? Magic.
Magic, yeah. Or alchemy.
Magic. That's what science was. Anyways, there's a ton of rabbit holes we go down all day long, and the internet's full of that content. One thing that I'm interested in, while we're eating this here meat, I feel very primitive, very caveman woo-woo, and I'm wondering, what are your experiences with artificial intelligence so far?
For me, I think we've all had, anyone that grew up through the 90s, like we've had a lot of artificial intelligence. It just wasn't fantastic. We had Ask Jeeves, we had Google. Remember Ask Jeeves?
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing now, just as lazier. We had Yahoo.
It got smarter.
We had Yahoo. We had, all these different search engines that would tell us in a written sense what was going on. Now we have a voice that you can choose what kind of voice sounds best for you, to advise you to a point where we don't talk to our elders at all anymore, to ask them about their elders. Are people generally you trust because they raised you. Whether their advice is correct or not, you at least know it comes from a good point. Like they're not going to misguide you because they know you're starting to take care of them. You know what I mean? So they're going to try to give you the best advice. They're not going to tell you to go eat those berries if they know they're poisonous berries, unless you're a really bad person to them.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, like that's almost survival of the less polite. You know what I mean? Like if you're an asshole, somebody's going to take you out no matter what.
Yeah.
But if you're a respectful person, you're taking care of an elderly person, and you ask them how to make a certain stew, they're gonna tell you the best way that they know what they know, because it's gratifying to them to be respected, to hear about something.
Yep.
Where are we at with AI right now? It's a machine that we're telling we constantly correct the machine until it gets to a point where it's perfect, that we could never come close to that perfection.
We're
So
training it.
we're training it in a way that everyone doesn't even know that we're congruing the information together. So everybody's best is going to an artificial intelligence that's honing itself to then, I think, come into the Terminator 2 standpoint of things.
Well, thank God there's people that are just using it for memes.
Hey man, that Sasquatch cutting jokes about like doing drugs and running through the woods, I find I definitely smirk about it, and I think, you know,
But does it make artificial intelligence smarter or dumber?
I think it knows the difference. You know, Joe Rogan was even saying that he didn't believe that, he thought that comedy was going to be one of the last things that would get taken over by AI. He thought he had job security in comedy. I disagree, because you can literally program it to look at people's biometrics as they're watching stuff on their phones and see what's making them grin and what's not, to millionfold,
You know,
not
where it's at?
thousandfold.
I'm watching AI now that, like I just did to you, slightly overlapped what you were saying with my own voice at the very end of it and segued into what I was saying. So I've seen AI doing that, like it kind of like talks over the other, like there's two AIs at a, like they're pretending they're doing a podcast,
Okay.
and they're having a discussion, and you know how naturally people overlap a bit, like when we're all talking and you're like, oh yeah, and I'll be like, right, and there's like that overlap where we're both kind of talking for a second or two.
Yeah.
AI's picked up on that, and now it does that to try to make it sound like it sounds more natural conversation. It'll overlap other
Just
people.
intentionally interrupting itself. Like I have a very hard time with that. Like in conversation, I get excited and I try to find a light opening where I can, you know, a slight pause that I can get in and say a little bit and then continue with the conversation. But I'm thinking like another 10 years, like what other choice are we going to have but social credit system?
I'm not sure a social credit system is necessarily as bad as we make it out to be. I think we're kind of already in it. I think they're just going to digitize it.
Well, right now, credit, certain countries have it, others don't.
No, but I mean, there's lots of elements of what it is part of a social credit society that we already have. Like that we already, it's just not digitized.
With social credit system, the thing is that I find interesting, it's like, oh, you didn't rat out your neighbor, so you're getting punished too. Or your neighbor or your friend on Facebook said something against the government that's in power at the moment, so you're losing credits
Because your friends with them.
because your friends or your family with them.
Yeah.
Because then that does a social governance of people around you punishing you because of something that you did, that the control, and it's going to be to a point like already government is kind of far reaching and forgot that they're working for the people, and that they're kind of getting to the point now where they're making us work for them. The table's turning. But once they're like, it's not me, it's the entity of AI that's doing it. It's Jeeves. Jeeves is giving you the ticket. You can't argue with Jeeves. He's a computer. He's just going to do it. Yeah, but my wife was having a baby in my car, and I had to do 130 kilometers an hour to get to the hospital. Now I still have to pay that ticket. Are you still going to lose points on your 20 points that you have that you can't keep? You
Like-
can't add
like-
them up.
Like right now, you can actually break laws and get away with it,
Mhm.
as long as you have, what is it, reasonable. I don't know the legal term, but it's like if you had a really good reason to do it, then they'll let it slide.
Right.
Like that's a flexibility a judge has.
Because you're talking to people.
Yeah.
What happens when the judge is AI?
I don't think that it's guaranteed that it will be worse. It could be better. There's also judges with biases too, right? That can work against you.
Right.
That is not fair, and that's why we have appeal courts. And I don't think the appeal process would go away necessarily with AI. I think it would be more important.
I think it would go away. Once that system does its things and they have it perfected, after another 5 years of seeing 1,000 cases and saying they all went this way, why should they go that way for you? I think it is going to go sort of absolute. But what are we going to do? They say, oh, we're going to find other jobs for you. Really? For 10 billion people? Already, like the self-checkout. How many jobs is that taking out?
I don't know.
We look at gas stations. Used to have just, you'd pull your car in and be a young buck there, would check your tires, check your windshield wipers, clean your windshield,
Full service.
pump your gas, full service. And they said, if we do self-service and give them a deal, they'll do that and we can fire this kid.
Yeah.
And now they don't give you a deal and you do it yourself.
Well, okay. Here's the other side of it. Do we give people jobs for charity, or do we give people jobs to fill in a need for a business?
I think human beings have to have some type of motive or target or thing to wake up for in the morning.
Yeah, but is that the responsibility of your average businessman?
Well, even the business owner is not going to have a business when AI dedicates it.
In some cases.
Most cases.
New businesses will come. Because here's the thing. A job isn't a charity. That's my point. Jobs aren't created so you can have a job. Jobs are created so that this task can get fulfilled within this company.
It's got a need, yeah.
Right.
So,
You want a guaranteed job? Go start a business.
oh, if you start your own business, you're putting a lot of your own vested interests, and you're generally going to have to ask to borrow money, or you can grow it slowly.
I have been in business for almost 13 years.
Mhm.
No, 12 years.
Mhm.
Sorry, shit. I just had my 12-year anniversary
Happy anniversary.
3 weeks ago. Thanks, man.
It's great to be independent.
And I've never borrowed a penny, except for like, I have a business credit card.
Right.
Which is technically borrowing money.
Right, but you don't have infrastructure and stuff for things like, it's not manufacturing, it's not anything like that. It's
No, I don't have like
It's
a
a lot of thinking.
factory or anything like that. No.
yeah.
But I built a business that was basically a self-employment
Mhm.
scheme,
Mhm.
so to speak, like so that I could be independent and self-sufficient.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, it's been quite the experience. Don't get me wrong, but I would have made a lot more money if I would have just stayed in the job market.
Mhm.
I would have had a lot less freedom, but I would have made a lot more money.
Right.
For sure.
So that's the trade-off.
Yeah. But that's a big trade-off. That's like an
Money
underestimated.
versus freedom.
Huh?
Money versus freedom.
Because if you have a lot of money, you can arrange to have more freedom.
Depends on when you decide to pump the brakes and.
See, I was thinking, no more
live in freedom.
bosses, except for every client you have is your boss now.
I say that to my kids with real estate. I say I'm looking for a job every day. It's endless finding clients and.
Yep. You don't
working
have
for them.
you don't have a draw, or anything like that. You're
No.
pure commission.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's how it was with Xerox.
So I'm literally asking for a job on a
Regular basis.
all the time. I'm constantly looking for a job and completing jobs and continuing on, and it's very rewarding and like self rewarding, because when I saw the WEF say you'll own nothing and be happy, that's when I made the decision that I was going to go into real estate over anything else, because I've always sold things my entire life. But land ownership to me equals freedom and liberty for people, and it makes it a lot harder for these governing powers to manage everything and have you live in like a shoebox apartment building, which
You get a certain style of freedom, I'd say, when you own your property, but you don't own your property. You're leasing it.
kind of, but
If you have to pay
you have to mess up. Yeah.
Anything you have to pay taxes on, you don't own.
Taxes is a whole other thing. There's a lot of shackles to that, because you can't just go out into the woods and build your own thing and live there. They're constantly gonna get at you about the taxes, so you have to. It forces you to be part of society. That's all part of the very slow iceberg in the getting into the social credit system. But it's a long, long lineage.
Fabian socialism.
Fabian society. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's all been written, and it's all being slowly accomplished, and the plan's slowly being implicated by a uniparty of two big parties that basically argue with each other as they just keep moving the herd along in one direction.
I don't like Uniparty. I don't like that
No?
term. No.
Okay.
I think they're two different flavors fighting for the same
endpoint?
similar endpoints. Similar. I don't think it's the same endpoint. I think it's similar endpoints. I think there's a lot of competing interests in the world. I don't think there's one family. Like I don't like. There's some people there who think the Rothschilds are like the one family that owns the world. Silly. Humans are just too competitive for that to even be possible. And then they're like, oh, hey, well, there's 13 families. Okay, you're getting there. You know what I mean? You're getting there. There's a lot of competing interests in the world, and humans just aren't loyal enough to give it all to one person.
I don't think they've been able to be loyal enough for the amount of history we're talking about. For, let's say, even 8,000 years, like back to, let's say, we'll go back to like Druids that would meet in the middle of the woods in different villages. There were Druids from each different village, but they would meet in a place and get things figured out with them. And slowly it got into different stuff. Then you had royalty, you had bloodlines, you had all of these things. But I think right now there's this very interesting time that I think we're living in. From AI to, everyone being bugged with a cell phone. Having a mic in our pocket used to have to be like a ninja rolling at night when people are sleeping, and put a bug under a desk somewhere and listen to their conversation. Now we all just have a bug on us.
Just voluntary.
We got a location device with GPS. We've got facial recognition, eye recognition, micro expressions, all in a pocket.